Oh, yeah, it's that lovely time again where we delve into WrestleMania season, we give our predictions, and see where we're gonna go for this lovely card that we have. Um, and that's with probably, I want to say, 25% sarcasm. Because while there's some matches that on the card which I'm not that enthusiastic for, I think it's going to be an over. I think overall WrestleMania is going to be okay. It's going to be an okay year. I think compared to other years where they have a brilliant card, but then they fall through on the expectations. Um, I think the card this year is okay. There's some really, really strong matches, and there's some really, really good ideas that have gone into this that have kind of fallen flat in their planning stages. And there's some really big issues with the card, mainly celebrities being involved. We've got Little Yachty, we've got IShowSpeed from YouTube, we've got Jelly Roll, who I love Jelly Roll as a singer, but I need him to take a step away from wrestling for a while because he's been involved this year way too much for me. Um, and then there's who's the other one? The one that I've kind of tried to delete from my own mind because whenever I see him, I just want to stop watching wrestling altogether, and that is Pat McAfee. Um, but we'll talk about that one when I do the night two predictions. This is night one predictions. I'm used to having the camera up here, which is why I'm looking up there, but I've got it down in front of me there for this video. Um, so I'm going to go through each match. As you can see, I'm starting with the women's tag. The only tag belt that's on the line at WrestleMania, unless there is an announcement that for night two, because night one is 7 matches, so that's pretty much locked. They're not going to change that now. But night two only has 6 matches. I'll get into what I think might happen with night two because I think it will go up to 7 matches, but we just have to wait and see. I think personally there is room for a match to be announced for that tomorrow on SmackDown potentially, but we'll get to that tomorrow. So let's crack on. Well, tomorrow when I do the night two video later, I'm pretty much going to be doing it straight after this one, though. To be honest, so we've got the champions, the Irresistible Forces versus the Bellas versus Lyra and Bayley versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Now, let's run through what the ones that I think have the best chances of winning here, and that unfortunately is the Bellas. The reason why I say that, and the reason why I say unfortunately, is because I'm personally not a big fan of the Bellas. I've never really meshed with them. They're not sort of my favourite tag team, or the whole gimmick of doing the switch up that they do, where one rolls out the ring and the other one rolls in, randomly. I never got it. It was just always something that it wasn't my cup of tea. Don't get me wrong. I think that they have their own styles, and I think that people are going to love the Bellas no matter what. I think the Bellas have the best chance of winning here because they're a legend team coming into compared to all the other teams. They're a legendary team coming in. They're going to get a small. I think what might happen here is the Bellas might get a small run with the belts, maybe from WrestleMania through to SummerSlam potentially, and then they'll drop them at SummerSlam, and then that'll be them done. I think. As a team, I think Nikki signed a contract for a couple of years, whereas I haven't heard anything about the length of Brie's contract status, whether she's signed up for a couple of years or whether she's just in for a short time and then done. I don't know. There is a question mark though over them, and that is Nikki's injury. And the rumor that I heard, I don't know whether this is still the thing, but about a week ago I did hear that the reason why they're holding off announcing Oscar versus Io Sky at WrestleMania is because if Nikki Bella cannot go, the Bellas would get replaced with the Kabuki Warriors in this match. If that happens and we get the Kabuki Warriors replacing the Bellas, then I think your winners will be Lyra and Bayley. If, though, the Bellas go into this match, I think the Bellas are going to win. Now, I'm going to err it on the side that because the match is still going ahead at this point with the Bellas in, it's still being advertised with the Bellas. I suspect that the Bellas are good to go, and so I suspect that my money is on the Bellas to win. So my prediction of this match at the moment, obviously, I'm filming this on the on Thursday before WrestleMania, so we're the 16th currently at 17:49 in the afternoon. We haven't heard anything about the Bellas getting pulled from this match, so I'm gonna go with the expectation that at this point, I think if they were going to change things up, they would have done it by now. I think that the chances are that Bella is good to go, and the good thing about a tag match with having this many people in as well is if she is on borderline, if she's borderline okay to go, they can sort of work around Nikki Bella, have Brie Bella do the majority of the moves, and have the other wrestlers in the match sort of work around the injury. So I suspect that the Bellas are going to be in this match now. With her being, if she is injured and she works injured, does that mean good for the belts going on to them? I don't know. But I can't see the belts going back on Charlotte and Alexa, and I suspect that leading up to SummerSlam and certainly the pay-per-views coming after WrestleMania, I suspect we're going to see a breakdown between Alexa and Charlotte and maybe a feud going into SummerSlam where them two are against each other. The best friends gimmick, I think, is going to crack and fall away. So I think the only team that has a chance of taking the belts off the Irresistible Forces is the Bellas or Lyra and Bayley. I don't see it being Charlotte and Alexa. I think they're going to start doing the breakaway feud because I think Charlotte's been away from the main title picture not long enough, in my opinion, but I think in WWE's eyes, they're going to want to put Charlotte back in the title hunt for the main titles. The Irresistible Forces, I think that might start breaking away now as well. I think that them two could potentially have one of them have a face turn. So I think if the title is changing hands, I think it's going to be the Bellas. My prediction for this match, therefore, is the Bellas. The Bellas are going to win this match. I kind of don't want it. I would prefer, if I'm being honest, a retention here. I prefer the Irresistible Forces to carry on with it. I would also have preferred an NXT team. I think if I remember rightly, I think most of these teams are from Raw. If I think of it, I think Alexa and Charlotte are definitely Raw. Lyra and Bayley, I'm pretty sure, are Raw. And the Bellas, I think, might be the only team from SmackDown, but I could be wrong. I'd have liked an NXT team to be involved in this as well, being as them belts can be defended on NXT. So I'd have liked an NXT team, maybe a Ren QCC appearance here potentially. Maybe Ren QCC, or trying to think who else you'd put, but I think it's going to be the Bellas. I think the Bellas are going to take the belts here. I don't think the Irresistible Force has done enough to retain them, to be very honest, although I would prefer it. We'll see what happens, but I think my prediction here is going to be the Bellas on this one. Moving on to the next match we're going to talk about, it's going to be Seth Rollins and Gunther. So this match is kind of one that's just been random. I think it's mainly because Gunther didn't have anyone to go with, and Braun Breaker wasn't back from injury in time to go against Seth, so we kind of got a mishmash. Seth's free, Gunther's free. Seth's free, Gunther is free. Let's put them in a match together. So it's kind of a throwaway match. It's not one that's got a lot of story behind it, although it's quite cool. I think ultimately I think Gunther has to win this match but I think it's going to be with an outside interference, to be perfectly honest. I think Bron Breakker's going to sneak in here. I think what you're going to have is you're going to have Seth Rollins, coming close to a win, and then we're going to see a Bron Breakker or someone from the Vision get involved in this match, maybe distracting Seth enough for Gunther to get the win. But I was originally thinking Seth might win this, but the more I think on it, I'm thinking if Paul Heyman owes a debt to Gunther, he's going to want to make sure that the debt is because Gunther beat Seth, and not just because Gunther came to stop Seth from attacking Paul Heyman. So I think Gunther has to win this one, which would then push his momentum towards SummerSlam, towards potentially a Brock Lesnar fight. But yeah, so because I think the debt that Gunther's gonna have is, I think the way that WWE are gonna do it is whatever happens with the Ober match. I think Brock Lesnar's gonna say, right, I'm done. That's me finished now. And then the debt that Paul Heyman's gonna owe, Gunther is going to turn and say, yeah, you're going to get Brock Lesnar to come back and fight me at SummerSlam, and I'm going to retire him. And then the whole argument will be, you're not going to retire me. I'll come back and fight you, but you're not going to retire me. Da, 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 da. I think that's going to be the debt that Gunther's going to owe. So I think Gunther is going to win this match and march on to SummerSlam, where he's going to retire Brock Lesnar. As much as I'd like Obafemi to do it, and I do predict, here's a spoiler for the night 2 predictions. I do think Obafemi is going to win. He better fucking win, put it that way, because the fact that Oba is over the way he is, if there's ever a person that Brock Lesnar should allow him to be beaten by, it is Obafemi. But there's the question mark of whether Brock or Paul will allow WWE to book it that way, or whether they will turn and say, we're not going to do it if Brock's going to lose, or whatever the jazz is. But I'll speak about that more when I do the Night 2 predictions shortly. So on this match, I'm going to go with Gunther, though. Gunther is going to win this match. On to the unsanctioned match now. We've got Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. There is a rumour going around that after this match, Drew McIntyre is disappearing off to film Highlander. I don't know whether that's true. I haven't seen anything to put that in black and white, whether that's true or not. And so him taking a loss here wouldn't be that bad, because he could go away for a month or two, film Highlander, and come back, and that'll have been shrugged off. But I think ultimately, even if that wasn't the case, Drew McIntyre is coming off a championship run. Jacob Fatu needs a win. He needs a win. And so I have to go with Jacob Fatu. It just makes more sense to give the win to Jacob Fatu, even more so if it is true that Drew McIntyre is going away. But that being said, if Drew isn't going away to film Highlander, then Drew McIntyre can take an L when he's literally just had a world title. He's only just lost it a month ago, so he can take a loss and be absolutely fine with it. And then get right back into the title hunt. But Jacob Fatu needs a win. He needs a big win. And winning an unsanctioned match at WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, knocks Jacob Fatu. I would really like to see a Jacob Fatu Obafemi match. That would absolutely. I mean, Obafemi would have to win, but Jacob Fatu versus Obafemi. Oh, that's a match I would love to see. But in this particular match, I would have to go with Jacob Fatu winning. So that's my prediction there. On to my least interesting match of certainly night 1 Mania. I don't think there's another match that I care less about on night 1. We have The Vision and IShowSpeed versus the Usos and LA Knight. Yeah. I would have preferred this to have actually been a multi-man tag match for the belts. Have Vision versus Usos versus other teams for the tag belts. I don't need to see this match. I really don't. I don't care about this match. I really could. I'll of night one. This is the match I just don't care about at all. The only I don't care for Logan Paul and Austin Theory. IShowSpeed I don't care for either. The Usos have really gone down in just what they're doing with WWE at the moment. And then obviously you've got LA Knight, who I think is just perpetually being refused a push, even though the fans are over for him. WWE just keep refusing to push him. So the whole match in itself here is just a match that I just don't care about. I really don't. I mean, does it really matter at this point? I think what you're probably going to have is the Usos and LA Knight go over, and then down, on Raws or pay-per-views down the line, you'll probably see the Usos challenge the Vision for the belts. But overall, I don't care. I'm going to say Usos and LA Knight, but I really could care less. I really could. Sorry, I prefer a tag match. I mean, why are the tag belts not on biggest show of the year? Why are the tag belts not up for grabs? It's just like I'm sick and tired of every year the tag belts just not being at WrestleMania. The SmackDown tag belts aren't at WrestleMania. The Raw tag belts aren't on WrestleMania. Other than this bullshit, this bullshit match. Usos and LA Knight on this match. Moving on. Let's move on. I'm sorry. I can't have enthusiasm for a match that I don't have any interest in whatsoever. Moving on, we have Becky Lynch and AJ Lee for the IC title. I'm just going to say it as I think it is. I think Becky doesn't need this belt. She needs to get back into the main title picture. There's been certain names that have been away from the title picture for so long, and I think they need to get back into it. And Becky Lynch is one of them. So I'm going with AJ Lee here purely because I just do not think putting the belt back on Becky Lynch is worth the time and effort that WWE want to do. Get Becky Lynch, have her lose this match, then have her get back into the main title picture, and go for that, and then AJ Lee can drop the belt to a mid carder. I did have a thought on who that could be. I was thinking because there's great symmetry between how AJ Lee has a belt now, and years ago she had the Divas Championship. If I remember rightly, she had the Divas Championship. I can't remember what WrestleMania it was. And then the night after Mania, the Raw after Mania, she did an open challenge for the belt, and I think Paige answered it, and Paige lost the title. Sorry, AJ Lee lost the title. I think Paige had the NXT Championship at the time, and had to relinquish it and got the Divas belt instead. I think what could be an interesting idea here is we have some symmetry here. Because what I would like to see is AJ Lee to retain at Mania and then do an open challenge and then have Sol Ruka come out and beat her for the IC title and have the belt go straight on Sol Ruka. I think that would have big symmetry to how AJ Lee lost the Divas Championship way back then. I think AJ Lee's coming up for a break anyway. I think she's going to go away for a little bit and then come back maybe for SummerSlam. So Becky Lynch isn't the right person to drop that belt to. So I think Becky Lynch should lose here. Raw after Mania, AJ Lee does an open challenge, Sol Ruka answers, loses the belt to Sol Ruka. That's what I would like to see. Whether the WWE does that or not, I don't know. Because I think Sol Ruka deserves it. I mean, she's put a big innings in, a big work in NXT. The question is she done in NXT or is she getting called up? I've heard rumours that she's getting called up. I've heard rumours that she's not getting called up now. It just depends on what they want to do. I really would like Sol Ruka to get called up because I'm bored of the whole Zarya Sol Ruka thing, so that could be an option. If they're not going to do that, then because the only problem is if they drop it to Becky Lynch, then that means we're going to have another AJ Lee Becky Lynch match because obviously AJ Lee would want a rematch to get the belt back off Becky Lynch. So we'd have to have another AJ Lee Becky Lynch match down the line, and I think the feud should be done. So personally myself, I would have AJ Lee win this, get Becky Lynch back into the main title picture, have AJ Lee drop the title to Sol Ruka or to someone else. It doesn't have to be Sol Ruka, but that's just my preference. At Raw after Mania, and then move on. That's what I particularly want. So I'm going to go with AJ Lee for this prediction. And then we get Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan for the women's world championship. I'm going to be honest. I'm not that fussed. I'm probably going to go with a Steph Vaquer retention. The reason I think that is because the way that WWE did, there was a backstage segment where Liv Morgan was having a chat with what's her name? The Prodigy. Her name's gone out of my head. Oh God. I can't think of a name. The Prodigy. I can't think of a name. What the hell is her name? What's her name? It's just got. I can't think of a name now. Oh, it's gone completely out my head name. I've got to look it up. Is it Roxanne Perez? I think it's Roxanne Perez. Yeah, it's Roxanne Perez. Oh my God, my head just went blank there. But they did a backstage thing with her, with Liv Morgan trying to discuss obviously the aftermath of getting rid of Finn Balor, and Stephanie Vaquer came in and knocked Liv Morgan into the back of Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan sort of headbutted Roxanne Perez. Now I'm wondering if that was done deliberately to then have Roxanne Perez turn on Liv Morgan, to have Liv Morgan to basically like you attacked me in the clubhouse, and Liv Morgan's like no, I didn't do that. It was Stephanie Vaquer knocking me into you. But I'm wondering if they're going to do the way they're going to use that is have it be that Roxanne Perez is going to cost Liv Morgan the match, and then side with Finn Balor. And then what we could see then down the road is we could see a Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan, Dirty Dom feud, with the Judgment Day completely disintegrating. Because I think Judgment Day as an actual faction has kind of had its day now. I think the Judgment Day. I mean, it's one of them things which I think is going to fizzle. I mean, even Raquel Rodriguez has kind of just like disappeared. She hasn't really been seen in the like over the last couple of weeks in any of the Judgment Day sort of segments. The only person who still has been seen is JD. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here with the Judgment Days itself. But I think I'm wondering if that, because on Monday you saw Liv Morgan attack Stephanie Vaquer, but there was no Roxanne Perez with her. Whereas I think if there was going to be a Roxanne Perez on Liv Morgan's side, she'd still be there. So I suspect what might actually happen here is we may get a screwy finish where Roxanne Perez cost Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer moves on with the belt. And then we get a Liv Morgan Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor Roxanne Perez match down the line. Which I wouldn't actually be that against. So yeah, I'm gonna say Stephanie Vaquer to retain here. Bit of a wild one, but I think that I have a sneaky suspicion here that Roxanne Perez may be the thing that cost Liv Morgan the belt. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Stephanie Vaquer retaining there. And then finally, we're going to get to this, which I actually forgot was actually on this on night one. I'm going to be honest. Both main events, I have no interest for. I could care absolutely. I don't care for them at all. Like if you cropped a certain person out of this picture and it was just two people. And I think everyone knows the person who I'm saying you crop out, I'd be more interested in this match. But the minute that they added a third person into this picture, I lost all interest in this match. And that is Pat McAfee. I could not care. When Randy Orton was getting the phone calls and there was a big question mark, who's on the phone, who's on the phone, who's on the phone? I was actually enjoying the idea that it actually being nobody and he was listening, he was talking to the voices. I was totally down with that. I didn't need a third person being on the phone at all. And then you got Pat McAfee who came in and the fuck. Like, I've never been so disappointed in a segment when that twat came out. I'm sorry, I can't. I didn't like him on commentary. I didn't like him in the matches that he's had with. He had a match with Gunther, and I think he had another match, if I remember vaguely as well. I didn't like him in there. I didn't like him on commentary. When I heard he was done with WWE, I was absolutely fantastic. I was ecstatic over it. I was so happy he was done with WWE. And then this match, him getting involved, like just no, it's just not it at all. It's not it. And if I only had Netflix for, if I only had Netflix for WWE and not other shows as well, I would be cancelling my Netflix subscription purely because of this decision. It's so stupid. You had the whole legacy storyline that they could have gone down with this feud. You know how Cody Rhodes was Randy Orton's stablemate in legacy, and that Randy taught Cody all that he knew, and you had all of that storyline that they could have gone down with. Even if they did want someone on the end of the phone, it could have been Randy's father. It could have been so many other people other than Pat McAfee. The whole storyline had, as soon as Pat McAfee walked out, the storyline I was just done with. I was just bored with. I was done with. No, no, done. So that being said, as annoyed as I am with the storyline, I think Randy Orton's winning. I think the foregone conclusion here is that we're going to see Randy Orton win. Now, don't get me wrong, I would really, really like to see Cody Rhodes win, and Pat McAfee has said he'll never be seen in WWE again. I'd like that, but I just, to me, that means that Cody's losing because they're going to keep this shit show going. As much as people don't want it, they're going to keep the shit show going. I don't want it. I don't need it. I want it done. But I think unfortunately they've just given John Cena the never seen 17 thing, and I think Randy Orton's getting. I think this would be his 15th title. I think they're going to put the belt on Randy Orton. But I would really, I would prefer Cody winning to get rid of to get rid of Pat McAfee, but I'm bored of Cody as well, to be fair. So this is kind of like I'm actually really serious when I say I might not even watch either of the main events because I have no interest in this match, and I have no interest in Roman Reigns either. So I genuinely might not watch the main events. I might just watch the highlights after the fact because I literally have no interest in them at all. So so I think we're looking at Randy Orton winning here. That's my prediction. So just to quickly go over all of the matches again, just quickly. I think we've got Bellas in this match. I think we've got Gunther. I think we've got Jacob Fatu. We've got the Usos LA Knight winning that match. AJ Lee retaining there. Stephanie Vaquer retaining, and then Randy Orton, I think. So they're my predictions for night 1 of WrestleMania. Obviously, we've got night 2 of Mania as well, which I'll be doing a prediction for soon. I'm probably going to record that either later tonight or right after this one. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you agree with my predictions? Do you think I'm right in certain ones? Do you think I'm wrong? What are you looking forward to? What's your favourite match that you're looking forward to at Mania? Are you bored of Pat McAfee? Same as me. What's your thoughts of Mania? Are you for it? Are you against it? Are you loving the card, hating the card? Who do you wish was on the card? Which belt do you think should be defended at WrestleMania that isn't currently being defended? Because there's quite a few actual belts that aren't at Mania. I actually thought we would get a AAA match, a AAA championship match at this Mania. I was thinking we could get one of the tag belts actually defended at Mania. We've got I think the IC belt is at Mania, but the United States belt isn't. If I remember rightly, or could that actually be? I actually think that might actually be getting defended now. Now I think on it. But we've both we've got the IC women's title that is being defended, and we've got the United States women's title that isn't currently. Let me know what you think anyway, guys. Let me know how you like the card, hate the card, matches you preferred. If there was anything that you would have preferred other than these matches, let me know down in the comments. Thank you.